Hey guys, what is up? It's Super Bowl Sunday here today, and welcome to the Hardcore Sports Network NFL Sunday Morning Show. I'm here with my guys Nicky Steves, James from Serious by the Lake Podcast, and Football Talk with Bo. Big C will be ready in a bit. How's everyone doing?
I mean, good, right?
I think you're good. But for me, it doesn't feel like it's Super Bowl Sunday. I don't know about the rest of you. It doesn't feel like it for me.
Okay, all right.
I don't know why. I guess because the Eagles are not in it, but it
Hangover.
is yeah.
When it's been
yeah.
about 17 years since your team's been there, it doesn't really make that big of a difference
Yeah,
anymore.
that's what I was thinking, right? Like,
What is up, Big C? How's it going, man?
What's going on, guys?
And Big C's gotten used to this feeling.
that's messed
Oh,
up.
dang, man.
Come on,
I don't
Nicky.
know. I don't know any other feeling.
It's going at it hard.
What I need to know is there any Baileys in that coffee cup there, Bo?
There should
There's
be.
not. It was a good idea, but it was funny because I was just sitting there having coffee, and then I looked down. I was like, "Oh, I think I'm supposed to be on camera in like 3 minutes. I should probably get in there."
And
Yeah.
you know what else? You know what else decided to happen? The heater broke in my house on a
Oh, no.
day like this. So I'm in my bedroom today. I'm usually in the basement. So I'm like, one of those days. One of those days. Normal guys, Seattle for the win. I'm pretty sure most of us are going with Seattle today,
Mhm.
most likely. So let's just get right into it, guys. Let's just get right into it. Do you guys have any Super Bowl traditions that you guys do for every single Sunday? So I'm gonna start off with Bo on this one. You got any Super Bowl traditions?
Yeah, it's so sort of, but it's not one that you would think. It's because it seems like for the last 5-6 years, there's been people that are like, "I'm boycotting the NFL and whatever." So I have a tradition of just like clowning those people the entire week. Going, you guys are full of it. There's nothing that's going to happen that's going to make you actually boycott it. Calm down.
All right, Big C, you got any traditions for Super Bowl Sundays?
Yeah, contemplating if I should still try to be a Dolphins fan or try to support another team because this is getting old and it's I don't know if I'm ever gonna see something different than what I've experienced so far in my life. I've been a fan for 37 years, and I've yet to see my team in the Super Bowl. And I've consistently hoped and prayed that eventually it will happen. Well, now I'm starting to get up there, and I'm starting to question whether it's going to happen. So I do wish I could maybe support another team. It's just not in me to do.
Like the
But
Browns.
yeah, I contemplate it every year.
You know what bothers me the most when people have two teams, like two favorite teams.
Yeah.
That's not real.
like,
That's not real. That's not a real fan. You know what I mean? Like if you can, yeah, I could sit here and try to be a fan of another team, but it's just not in me. You know what I mean? It's not in me to be something other than a Dolphins fan, and that's when you know the real fan. If you got three teams and I got an AFC team and an NFC team, or you know what I mean? Like, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
I mean,
The
there's
closest
certain
I get-
players I may be fans of. I wish them success, but not
Yeah.
two teams. It's
Yeah.
Yeah, like there will be elements of teams that I like, right? So like my team is the Seahawks, and I'm not going to root for anybody else, but like I can appreciate like the culture that Campbell is building, right? So you kind of root for him as a guy like, hey, I hope you have success, not against my team, but I hope
Yeah.
good things happen there. Or the way the Ravens used to play defense, right? Like I always respected that, but I'm not like, let's go. No, I mean, you got one team.
Yeah. Yeah. Like,
Yeah, you can
there's a guy.
you can respect other teams, and you can have admiration for what they're doing over there. Like I'm the biggest Barry Sanders fan, but I'm not a Lions fan. You know what I mean? Like
Exactly.
I was a huge Kobe Bryant fan, but I wasn't a Lakers fan. You know what I mean?
What is up, our crew? Yeah. Like, there's a guy on the network, Pyro. He's a fan of the Chiefs and the Packers because of Aaron Rodgers. So I'm like, just be a fan of Aaron Rodgers. You don't have to be a fan of the Packers too. Like, just be a fan of like a certain player, like what Nikki said. Like growing up, I was a huge fan of Adrian Peterson, but then after what happened, I dropped it. So I'm like, yeah, I'm an Eagles fan, diehard. You see the jerseys behind me, so it makes a lot of sense. So, James, you got any traditions there?
Overeating. That's the big one. If I find myself in a social atmosphere with a bunch of other people at a Super Bowl party, I will eat until I can't put anything else in my mouth. I have no control over that.
We're going to talk about food in a little bit as well. So, Nikki, you got any Super Bowl traditions there?
Yeah, unhealthy eating, either pizza, chicken wings. Recent years, I tried to limit it to smaller portions, but it is a Super Bowl tradition.
You know what? Let's just get right into it then. What's your guys' favorite food on Super Bowl Sunday? Let's just get right into it because for me, it's like, I guess it will be pizza for me. I don't know about the rest of you guys, so I'm gonna start off with Nikki. Go the other way. Nikki, Super favorite food?
Well, I kind of just said it. Chicken wings. I mean,
True. James?
Around here, I don't know if it's real popular in other parts of the States or not. Buffalo chicken dip is a huge thing around here. We love that stuff. So, yeah.
Jonathan cook Buffalo chicken dip. So there you go.
Dropped it. I mean,
Right on too.
Pittsburgh also, though.
Yeah, big thing up here. We love that stuff.
James? I mean, not James. Oh my God, Bo?
Yeah, I mean, I'm always good for some wings, or you know, a lot of times we end up having like a taco bar or something too. You know, the things that like you can eat over a few hours. I'm always surprised when people make something that's good for like 15 minutes and it has to be hot. It's like there's a lot of game left. Like I don't know, we're like it's always good.
It needs to keep in a crock pot, right?
Yeah, right. Or nachos. Nachos are cool.
Yeah,
for sure.
All right. Big C, what about you?
I mean, you do the pizza, the wings, maybe meatballs in the crock pot, little smokies in the crock pot, something like that. You know, just the finger foods that are accessible and you can keep hot for long periods of time. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, Super Bowl's definitely the best, and you got to make sure you order quickly. You don't want them to be waiting in line forever. Like that's the worst thing, to be waiting in line before the game. What do you think, James Pierre Newton? Am I?
Oh, the defensive rookie, he just got an assault charge.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you want, I forgot about that.
Yeah, that just happened like yesterday or the day before or something. That's real recent. So.
Oh wow, yeah. Well, he's done there, so there you go. There you go. Meatballs in a crock pot, shrimp, James Pierre Jr. There we go. I got confused.
Yeah.
Yep. Damn, that's crazy. So, it is what it is there.
Yeah. Walk away, man. Walk away. If it's getting confrontational, get the hell out of there.
Yeah. I feel bad with him, so I feel bad for him. So, do you guys have a favorite halftime show for the Super Bowl? For me, it's actually Prince.
Yeah, Prince was great.
Yeah, that was mine. If you guys have any other ones, like today, I don't think anyone's looking forward to today.
Bad Bunny's my dude.
That's the thing that's funny is I know a lot of people stoked to watch Bad Bunny, and people are freaking out. Like he was already involved in one. Like, he was on the stage with Shakira.
When was that? I forgot that.
A few years ago now.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, if your music's not in English, you shouldn't be doing it. You know what I mean? Like if we can't understand what the hell you're saying, you shouldn't be the halftime show.
Speak Spanish in like half the world. Like
I don't give a fuck. Football's played in the United States of America. I speak. You know what I mean? Like, come on, go sing for the World Cup, the soccer. Sing for something else.
But Shakira's songs were in Spanish.
Well, she can shake her little hip somewhere else too.
See, there it is.
I listen. It's not just because he's a dude. You know what I mean? Like I don't know what the hell you're saying, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like half the songs on my Madden game playing, I don't know what the hell they're saying. Like, there's so many different artists that, you know what I mean? Like, and not to take anything away from his talent and what he does, but come on, like this is it's America. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And pretty much.
I mean, this
I-
might be for certain people kind of like a stick it from a political standpoint by using Bad Bunny to stick it to a certain crowd. I mean,
Yeah.
possibly too. So
I mean, he is a U.S. citizen. Puerto Rico's,
and we know how divisive it's been over the past year.
Like, I've really enjoyed the like. He's a foreigner. It's like he's not.
He's not. Yeah.
He was born here. Then
And technically, it is a U.S. territory being
Exactly.
Puerto Rico. So
Yeah, cool. But you know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying?
I
Nothing
know
to do about race or ice or nothing like that. You know what I mean? But shit.
Yeah. It's,
I wanna know what you're saying.
85% of the crowd that's watching the Super Bowl won't be able to understand.
Yeah.
let's
You know,
let's be
I'm
honest.
actually looking forward to the people watching of people losing their mind about it for no reason. For me,
Yeah.
it doesn't mean a lot because I'm usually getting another beer and getting more food. I don't really watch the halftime show that much anyway.
I
Yeah,
watched
let's-
the year Kendrick was doing it. I thought Kendrick was awesome. But you know, most
Last-
years I don't really care for it.
Most people weren't a supporter of Kendrick Lamar. People didn't get it, and I understand that too. You know what I mean? And I think it should be something that everybody can, relate to. It's obviously people have their preference in music, but you know what I mean? Like my favorite of all time is the Michael Jackson '93. You know what I mean? Like I think Michael was internationally loved. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Everybody respected Michael Jackson's music, and I think that was the greatest halftime to me. And then the national anthem is Whitney Houston. You know what I mean? I think nobody gonna beat Whitney.
No. Wasn't the Beatles on top of a roof for one Super Bowl halftime show or something?
Well, Michael was on top of the roof. Well, they had 4 different people. He popped up at the top of each corner, and then he popped up the screen, the stage.
right, you
Yeah.
had Paul McCartney from the Beatles did that Soul Show that one year. The
Yep.
Eagles Patriots first time around.
Yep. Usher. I like
Yeah.
the Usher one too. I forgot about that.
That was pretty
Yeah.
cool. Of course, you had Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Eminem, Ken,
That was
Mary
a good one.
J, and
That was a good one. Yeah.
Come on, you,
50. That
I
was
know
a
you
good
guys all
one.
enjoy Janet.
I was gonna say
God.
that. I was gonna
Yeah.
say that. I was like, hopefully there's not any malfunctions. I was gonna
Well,
say
that was actually Justin Timberlake's halftime show. But yeah,
Was he there?
It was the most important part of it.
Yeah. and
Snoop is one. Prince is another. Yep,
let's
that was
be
my
fair,
favorite
Justin
one.
Timberlake played a role in that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, the most important role.
Yeah.
Pretty much. So let's get into some news here. Looks like Las Vegas Raiders are going to hire Clint Kubiak as their next head coach.
Yep.
That's honest. I didn't expect that. So what do you think about that? I'm going to start off with James on this one.
I think that he would have been a hotter commodity had the Seahawks not had such a late run into the playoffs. I think a lot of teams would have been all over him. And Pittsburgh was one of the teams that wanted to interview him, but because of some funky rules in the fact that they didn't have an opening going into the first round of the playoffs, they couldn't interview him until like after the Super Bowl. So I think it's no surprise that he's getting one of the jobs. And a good move, right? You want an offensive-minded quarterback specialist, that can go in there and help your rookie quarterback, because that's exactly what you're doing. You're starting from square one. The assumption is Fernando Mendoza is going to be the pick. This is a great move, bringing a guy like Kubiak to try and develop him and get the most out of him.
Let's go with Bo on this one with Clint Kubiak.
Yeah, so it was funny because the Steelers did have interest, and then for whatever reason they were slow to move, because during that initial bye week for Wild Card Weekend, he did take a couple of interviews with Baltimore and Tennessee, and one other team. I forget who it was now, but decided not to move forward with any of those. So then I was thinking, oh, okay, it's either going to be the Raiders or he's coming back, right? Because he wasn't taking Arizona. So that's an absolute dumpster fire. Yeah. But, it makes a lot of sense, right? Like you go to the Raiders, You have the number 1 overall pick. You have the second most cap space to play with. You have Crosby. If you retain him or if you move off him, you're going to get a ton of picks for him. You got 2 good tight ends. You got a good running back. Like there's elements in this team that are, beneficial. And of course, if you do take Mendoza with the number 1 pick, Kubiak is a great offensive mind. So it makes a lot of sense. This job, is a smart move for both sides. At the same time, I was like, it'd be kind of cool if we could maybe run this team back, but that's not generally how it works. If your team makes it far, your coordinators are gone. Like that's just normal practice anymore.
Big C.
I think it's a fantastic move for Kubiak to choose the Raiders. Like Bo said, all those things come into play. That's why I was so against the Miami Dolphins looking for their head coach this year, is because they didn't have those things to offer candidates, and you were going to get stuck with, the 8th or 9th best candidate. You weren't going to get one of the top candidates to come in and be the head coach of your football team because you weren't an attractive destination to go to head coaches. And I think the Raiders got a lot of things going for him. He's going to be able to get Fernando Mendoza in there, the Heisman Trophy national championship quarterback. Like you said, you could trade Crosby for multiple first-round picks. Yeah, you got a good running back. You got multiple tight ends. There's things to work with the Raiders. That division's tough, but I think it probably hurt a little bit that they went so far and they're in the Super Bowl that lots of times these teams want to hire their coach and get them in the building as fast as possible. And sometimes if you're one of those coaches, one of those coordinators that get stuck playing in the Super Bowl, sometimes you miss out on some opportunities that some teams just are anxious to get their guy in the building and get it over with, and they don't want to wait till the very end of the season.
So let me ask you guys this, because this is the way I wish it worked for college too, honestly, is it should be essentially like a no tampering for everybody until after the Super Bowl, or in college after the national championship, right? Like you shouldn't be able to steal people's coaches and distract them from the task at hand, on a playoff run. Like I wish they would just move that date, because if you want somebody on the championship team, you have to wait anyway. So they should just make it, everybody has to wait until after, right? Plus, that would be great for the NFL anyway, because that means after the Super Bowl, that's when all of this craziness happens and it keeps them in the news cycle, which is really all they care about. So I don't know. For me, I wish they would push that out so that, it was just kind of a uniform date.
Yeah.
I think the problem is the calendar. If they do that, then they have to probably push back these college all-star games too, because you want your coaching staff at the college all-star games, the Shrine Bowl and the Senior Bowl, to evaluate the talent to see who you're going to pick. And those both happened already. So if you're going to do that, I think it's a good idea to do so, but you would have to push the Shrine Bowl and the Senior Bowl back past the Super Bowl, in my opinion, because they're just such huge events for evaluating talent.
I don't know. Wasn't the Vikings GM at the Senior Bowl and then they fired him before he got back?
Yes.
Like,
There was.
But also take that information somewhere else.
Well, that's not that big of a pushback. What was the Senior Bowl last week? So
Yes. Yes.
No, exactly.
So what are you pushing it back 2 weeks?
2 weeks.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah, I honestly don't know what to say about that, but Nikki, what's your thoughts about Clint Kubiak?
This does have potential, of course, but there's always that question of, can you transition from coordinator to head coach? Because we see it doesn't always work out, but sometimes it does. It's one of those hit and miss, wait and see type of deals. Because you really don't know until you start seeing them in the locker room on how they pan out in that transition. So, as always, it's got potential, but we still got to wait and see how it actually plays out.
To your point, like it can even start off a little shaky. You could come out and be like Duval, and then still end up with a good year.
Right. Yep. So the Browns defensive coordinator has resigned like abruptly.
Yeah.
So is he gonna go anywhere? I'm gonna start off with Nikki on this one. Is he gonna go anywhere on this, or is he done?
I mean, has there been any reports of him having any health scares or anything like that that we know?
He was
of? Because-
upset. He was upset that he didn't get the head coaching job.
Yeah.
Jim Schwartz
Yeah,
thought that he should have been hired as head coach, which he probably should have been.
Well, he was probably that, and he was probably frustrated with the Browns as a whole anyway. So
No, it was 100% because he didn't get that job. 100%.
Yeah.
And then on top of it, he's like, wait a minute. I've been here busting my tail, making this defense a formidable force. I played a big role in you guys getting to the playoffs a couple seasons ago alongside that magical run of Flacco. I've been the most stable on the coaching staff, and you decide to go outside the realm, promote somebody else. It's like, no, I'm done with this. I'm going to look for some new opportunities.
Well, they also did him a little bit dirty because there were other places that were interested in having an interview with him, and he was kind of in on being the Browns, and the Browns didn't do it, but they waited long enough that the other opportunities were already gone. So, I mean, I get some of the frustration on that end too, because it's like,
they're trying to keep him locked in, basically. It feels
but we're
like.
also going to make sure you can't do it somewhere else. So I would have quit too. I mean, the only downside is there's no open jobs now. So I don't know what the plan is there, but if he wants a job as a DC, he'll get one. I mean, the Browns defense has been good.
What I heard is that he's planning on taking a year off, which is the smart move in my opinion, because everybody's going to look back on it and say, my God, what he did with that defense was incredible. Let's be honest, that's been the only thing that they've had to look forward to on that team for years is how good that defense has been. And Jim Schwartz has a large part to do with that. Obviously, you have a talent like Myles Garrett. You just unleash him and let him go do his thing. But there's a lot of other guys that have done a really nice job on that defense over the last few years, and he has to get some credit for that. So, yeah, just that's the Browns being the Browns. That's what Juju meant when he said the Browns is the Browns. They mismanage situations over and over. And this is, again, it. That was the best coach on that roster. And I guess that doesn't mean you necessarily have to make him your next head coach. But to intentionally screw him over from other opportunities like that, too. They better hope he doesn't go to somebody like Cincinnati and turn that defense around and then play the Browns twice a year, because he's going to have a real bone to pick with them. I would not be surprised if he tries to land himself in a situation where he can be a thorn in the Browns' side on a regular basis.
I'm not going to lie. That would be hilarious.
Yeah.
It would. I mean, James loves this right now. Cleveland Browns are falling apart, and James loves this.
They can go ahead and hang all their hopes on Shedeur Sanders. Let's see how that works.
See, what's even worse, because the Browns are the Browns, they've actually come out and said that they're going to give Deshaun Watson a real shot at winning that job. Because let's go. I mean, there's no better dumpster fire than when you throw some tires in it to really get it burning.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh my living God! So, who's the new coach of the Browns?
The OC from Baltimore who couldn't figure out that he needed to put Derrick Henry on the field.
Exactly.
Oh my living God! Where's my friend Garrett? He's a Browns fan. He was on the show months ago, but I'm trying to get him back on. He's insane. He won't come on.
I don't know why I was thinking that, but it's Todd Monken.
Munkin, yeah.
Okay, that was it. Thank you. Yeah, it's our crew. The downfall of the Eagles. Your coaches want to quit. The O-line coach. Yeah, it's not looking good over here in Philly. It's definitely not. And there's only one person to blame, and that's Nick Sirianni. Other than that, nope. Nikki, you wanted to say anything about our Eagles with that real quick?
I was going to say about this, it's unbelievable that they passed up on Jim Schwartz for a failed offensive coordinator.
Yeah,
but then as far as the Eagles go, man, that's not looking good, though, to lose your offensive line coach when you've consistently been one of the best offensive lines in the NFL for nearly a decade now. you got to wonder who's going to be his replacement. On one hand, though, fortunately, we still have some solid talent on the O-line, but that also depends on what we do with the offseason. So
it's going to be a long off season for us, Nikki. A very, very long off season,
yeah.
and I'm not here for it.
It sounded like he didn't want to give up the running game coordinator because he also kind of did part of that. And your OC was like wanted to take everything over. He didn't want to give that up, and so it sounded like he was kind of either give it up or you're out. And he's like, "Cool, I'm out."
Yeah, and now offensive line want to retire. Landon Dickerson, who's 27, wants to retire, and Lane Johnson, who's pretty much on his way out. And so it's just like we're going back to square one. And now if Vic Fangio wants to retire, that just lays in a whole nother case. It's just like there's got to be something. I mean, we brought in a positivity bunny for crying out loud. We brought in a positivity bunny.
If Fangio wants to leave, there's a Schwartz guy that's floating around.
Yeah, they were in talks about that. They were thinking about that for sure. And
May
I'm
the
like,
Schwartz be with you.
Yeah, that's right.
yeah. So we talked about this a little bit, and that's a Max Crosby trade buzz. There's rumors of him getting chopped around. So what team would be good to get Max Crosby? I heard the Ravens. That was my number one. So I'm going to start out with Big C on this one. Crosby, do you see him go anywhere? Or do you see him like stuck with the Raiders?
I mean, I guess it really depends. I mean, obviously you got a talented player that is probably unhappy there. All these players want to win. He's gotten paid. It depends on what you can get for him, and depends, there's a lot of factors. You're going to hear about a lot of names being shopped around, whether he gets traded or not. I mean, who knows? But teams I could see possibly, trading for him. Maybe the Detroit Lions, they had a down year this year. They could use some more pass rush help. Shoot. I mean, I don't know.
All right, I'm going to go with Bo next.
Yeah. So the biggest thing here is you got to look at teams that have draft capital give up, because he's gonna command at least a couple of ones and then something else, and then they also need cap space because he makes a lot, right?
Yeah.
So a team that could use him, could afford him, that I really don't want to see him go to is the New England Patriots. They have a ton of cap space. They have draft picks, and everybody on their roster is cheap right now. So that is something that would be an immediate upgrade to that squad, because a lot of the teams that could use him just don't have the cap space or the draft capital to trade for him. But unfortunately, that particular team does. And we're going to see them later today. So we didn't really need them to get any better.
I mean, that's not the typical Patriot way, though, trading for an aging player and trading away that much draft capital. So
I don't see him doing it, but he would be a good fit for him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. James?
How about the Chicago Bears? They really need some pass rush help. The defense is very, very good at forcing turnovers, but they let up yards like crazy. So they need somebody to help them get off the field on third downs. So I could see that being a move. I don't know what their cap situation's like. I won't pretend I've got that under my hip, but they definitely need a premier pass rusher, and he'd fit the bill there. You feel like you probably have your quarterback, a lot of positions in place on that team. So maybe you don't need the first round pick for the wide receivers and running backs and tight ends. You've got all that figured out already. So I think defensive side of the ball is where they need the help, and somebody getting after the quarterback to take them to the next level to be able to compete with Seattle and the Rams and make the deep runs in the playoffs. You better get yourself a pass rusher.
It's got to be a team that they feel like this is the final piece that push them over the top and make them Super Bowl contenders.
Yeah.
No one else is going to be willing to trade away that many assets for that. It's got to be someone that's right there on the doorstep. They feel like if we add him, we're Super Bowl champs.
Well, and it's funny because when they were talking about it before the trade deadline this year, they were talking about wanting 3 number ones for him. And like, if that's the case, he's a Raider moving forward because nobody's giving up 3 number ones.
That's too much.
Yeah, that is way too much. That being said, he's been unhappy there, but he may not be with the new coaching scheme that's coming through. Like, he may want to hang out and see what that's about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like that. Nikki?
It's a good, interesting question. I mean, you could see the Patriots, but some of the teams that have draft capital aren't the most appealing in the world, but in space, like the Jets. You really think he's going to want to go to the Jets?
No.
Or even the Cardinals?
I wish the Jets would trade their 3 first-round picks for Max Crosby. Do it.
Hey, that does sound like a Jets thing to do, though.
Yeah.
I hope they do. Go ahead.
Yeah, or a team like the Cardinals. Do you really think that's going to be his ideal spot? I mean, unless he goes to the Patriots and they're willing to do it, it's kind of tough to find a team that, is going to take it. Unless a team that's willing to go all in to bolster their defense, like maybe the Panthers, which I don't know if they're going to do that or not. But unless a team like that's willing to go for them, it's really hard to see an instant, actual potential good team he could go to beside the Patriots.
Well, and a lot of the good teams don't have the cap space for him anyway. So even if you had the draft capital, you couldn't pay him.
So I was
Jets
thinking
careers pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, our crew, yep. What about the Houston Texans? Is that one you would think, or is that
Well,
not?
they're already pretty good at pass rusher.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just. I feel like that's.
With
Yeah,
Janelle
they-
Hunter and Will Anderson, I don't see room for.
But then you have to give up a younger pass rusher to get a veteran in Max Crosby, who you don't know how much longer he's got as far as being elite player goes.
I mean, don't get me wrong. If you somehow added him to that defense, that is ridiculous. But they don't really need him. I mean, they had one of the best pass rushes in the league anyway. But yeah, if you put him on that roster somehow, go get Garrett too. Why not? Just the all Madden D line. Let's go.
Oh my god. Yeah, and I looked up Crosby's only 28. I thought he was older than that. I thought he was at least 30.
I mean, Vegas will age you.
Yeah.
He used to do drugs too.
Fair.
No, Gregor, I did not. Did anyone watch the flag football pro game? For
No.
I
I
couldn't do it.
didn't.
Yeah.
I couldn't either. I couldn't. Legendary threw a pick 6.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. The thing that's funny, right? So over the last few years, speaking of the Pro Bowl, so in 23, they had like 6.5 million views.
Right.
24, it was 5.7. 25, it was 4.7, and then this year 1.9 because you hit it on a Tuesday. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
So
The fact
I
that
mean,
it was on a Tuesday is just hilarious.
I think they're finally just trying to snuff it out. They're just like, you know what, this thing is a loser. Let's just eliminate this thing.
Yep, turn it
Yeah.
into an awards ceremony and be done with it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I would do the skills challenge, quarterback challenge from back in the day and stuff like that. But as far as the game goes, I remember being a kid and watching these guys try to take their heads off, each other's heads off still. You know what I mean? So the fact that this Pro Bowl game is went down the drain like it has is absolutely embarrassing. I mean, the last few years when they were wearing helmets and pads, they weren't tackling. They weren't. There was zero effort given. I mean, we're in a soft generation. You know what I mean? Back in the early 90s, these guys were out there rocking people, rocking them. You know what I mean? And it's just a different day and age.
When you think back to that era, because I agree, that was the last time that this game was any good, and it was still played in Hawaii at that time, right? So the guys wanted to go. Plus, the way they got paid was so much less than that. The $50,000 for winning the game was significant. Like, you wanted to win that game. Now these guys are making $5 to $10 million a year, so the $100K to win isn't really that big of an incentive, especially when you're not getting that free trip to Hawaii. You went to Santa Clara. Woo! That's why so many people bailed out, which is why you're seeing guys like Shador get in. or Tyler Huntley a few years ago.
Joe
because-
Flacco.
Yeah, well, I mean, Huntley was the most ridiculous one because
Yeah.
he played 5 games and threw for 600 yards, right? Like that
Yeah.
negative.
It was 2 touchdowns, the 3 picks too.
Exactly. A losing record in those games. Shador, 1,400 yards in 7 games and a negative touchdown to interception ratio. I mean, you're not seeing the best of the best anymore because you got guys like Trevor Lawrence. They're like, yeah, no, I think I'm good. Like, so yeah.
It's just crazy. I don't know. You guys know that the YouTubers do like a big flag football game there. It's like for all so, and it's just like that gets more viewers on YouTube than the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, because people
Oh,
want to.
Like that is just crazy what the numbers they pull there. So I don't think I'm ever gonna watch the Pro Bowl again. I don't think so. I don't know. I remember it used to be the Grammys or the Pro Bowl on the same night. And then it was just like, I would go to Pro Bowl, but now I'm going to Grammys. Bring back the old, yes, Vic, bring back the old ones. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Sadly, exactly. Sadly, that's never going to happen because for them to be incentivized the same way they used to be, the winner would have to be making like $5 million.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I was thinking. Is that you need to up the ante. It needs to be at least like 500 grand for the losers, $1 million per player for the winners, for it to be enough for them to even consider it. It needs to be equal to like a 1-game paycheck for these guys. Otherwise, it doesn't make any sense. And with
Especially if you're not
guys
going
making $40 million a year, good luck trying to do that on a Pro Bowl.
It's
Yeah.
kind of like what the NBA is doing. The NBA is trying to change it up with like a target score, and they're trying to make it more competitive because I forget what the win. Nikki, do you remember what the winner team gets for that? Don't they get paid, like extra money for that?
Something, but I don't know the exact numbers.
Yeah, but my point is they're changing it to try to make it better. The NFL is not doing anything with the Pro Bowl. They're making it worse. So I'm just like, Pro Bowl used to be my favorite thing. It was that NBA All-Star game. Now, duck, dive, deep dive, and dodge. It's
Yeah.
First off,
dodgeball.
the Pro Bowl shouldn't be optional. In my opinion, I think if you're voted
That's
into the
fair.
Pro Bowl, you owe it to the fans to show up and perform.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
I
fair.
it could make it a lot more fun. Obviously, the game itself is a complete waste at this point. Some of the skill stuff they used to do, they could bring back, like a competition of who can bench press 225 the most times. Get your biggest defensive and offensive lineman out there on the bar, and let's see what they can do. The NFL's fastest man, they used to do a relay race. Well, not even a relay race. It was 4 guys in a track competition running at the same time, different events in like your fastest wide receivers, DBs, running backs, whoever wants to participate in it. And you get down to the final guy, and then you had your fastest sprinter in it.
But you
could
still
find stuff-
got to force them though, because the top ones are so worried about their image and being embarrassed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I truly believe some of the fastest players wouldn't participate because I don't want people to think I'm not the fastest. I can continue to say I'm the fastest if I don't race. You know what I mean? So I think if you're voted in, you need to. But I agree. The skills challenges, the bench press, I would watch that.
Yeah.
The quarterback challenge from the early 90s. I used to have a Super Nintendo game, the quarterback challenge.
Yeah.
Like that was fantastic. You know what I mean? I remember Marino hitting the farthest target bullseye to win it against Craig DeBergen. He didn't make the money Marino was making, so he was counting on that bread, and Marino took it from him. Marino ended up cutting him a check for $17,000 because Marino's a good guy. You know what I mean? But yeah, bring that stuff back. Who can throw it the farthest? You know, you get Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes out there, and you know what I mean?
I mean, probably one of the biggest things was as soon as they moved it before the Super Bowl, you eliminated half of the guys that would have been in the Pro Bowl because your Super Bowl teams are generally littered with Pro Bowl talent.
Exactly.
So you're already watering the product down by eliminating every, Super Bowl team. And then it's optional. And I mean, it's just become an unwatchable product. And then they make it flag football and you're just like, yeah, who cares?
And it's disrespectful to all these teams. You know, you look back and Marino made 13 to 15 Pro Bowls in his career, but now Shador's, got one. You know what I mean? Like it's not that prestigious, thing anymore. And they're taking it to the contract table like, hey, I'm a Pro Bowler. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's right. You got to respect the Tyler Huntley Pro Bowl.
And then that gets factored into these guys' post-career accolades too.
Yeah.
When we start talking about Hall of Fame voting, you look at how many Pro Bowl selections, how many All-Pro selections, those things are factored into it. So you're really skewing how talented some of these guys are by, 7th, 8th, 9th alternate guys getting in a Pro Bowl.
It is just ridiculous what it has come to, because it was just like, it was one of my favorite things growing up. Now it's just like, why even bother? I'd rather watch like hockey or something, and I can't. And I'm trying to get back into hockey, and it's tough. So it's just like, I'd rather watch soccer, and I can't stand soccer. It's getting down that bad, but it's just like, and now wasn't the Pro Bowl like, it was after the Super Bowl, right? It was like a week or two after. Yeah.
It used to be, yeah. It was in Hawaii, and it was a week after. So Super Bowl players could be in it.
Then why do they make it before the Super Bowl then? And why do they do that? To me, that makes no sense.
Yeah, I mean, they've just slowly been killing the product.
Because the front office are a bunch of morons, and they thought it'd be a good idea, and they yet to realize they made a mistake.
And people can be done for the year earlier too. You know what I mean? They can, all those players can be done 2 weeks earlier instead of waiting a week after the Super Bowl to go on their vacations and start their off season plans. You know what I mean? So it definitely gives them an extra 2 weeks of off time.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm actually going to watch a college basketball today. My Michigan's playing in it, so I'd rather watch that than the Pro Bowl. That's like, God, I hate it. I just freaking hate it. My buddies loved it, so it is what it is. All right, now let's get into the Super Bowl talk. The Super Bowl preview. Seattle Seahawks take on the New England Patriots. So we're gonna start off with Nikki on this one. What does Seattle have to do to win? We're gonna go Seattle around, then New England around.
Main thing they have to do is be able to score points and not turn the ball over, because chances are most likely their defense is going to do good against the Patriots. But I feel like if you just score points along with your defense playing up the expectations, that's a quick way to set the tone in your favor and force Drake May, who hasn't been great in the playoffs, to have to step up in the biggest game of his career. And that could easily give the Seahawks an advantage right there. Force Drake May to play under pressure. We'll see what they can do. And we saw Darnold in the conference championship have the game of his career, and he's got the weapons to do it. And plus, he's still got Kenneth Walker healthy. So there's definitely the potential for them to do that on offense. It's a matter of getting it done and scoring points to set the game in your favor. Especially if Rashid Shaheed can have a big play on the first drive like he did the last two games. That'll help.
Score the most points by the end of the fourth quarter.
That's fair. James?
To me, they need to have a versatile attack here. Seattle needs to make sure they're spreading the ball around to everybody. I anticipate Mike Vrabel coming up with a good game plan to try to limit things for Seattle. I would assume that the focus will be on Jackson Smith and Jigba, and it should be. He's an incredibly talented player. But to me, I expect a big game out of Kenneth Walker. I think he's been fantastic this season, and especially in the playoffs. He's kind of shown everything that made him such a highly valued prospect when he came out in the draft. I love his style and how quick and sudden he is. With a breakout game today, that dude's going to get paid. So that's my thing there is I think if you can get that run game going and get them out of their game plan, Seattle could really run away with this thing, in my opinion, today. My biggest concern for them is what's the health status on Nick Eamon-Wari. So I'm excited to hear what Bo knows about that, because I know he's got the ins and outs of what's going on there.
Bo?
So to address that, so he is good to go. They were worried initially because it was the same ankle he had a high ankle sprain in earlier in the year. This is a low ankle sprain. he is clear to play. So I imagine it's going to be a Toradol shot and about 2 rolls of tape. He's going to be out there. So fully expect him to play. For Seattle, it's Darnold taking care of the football. It is a really key element. He's done a great job of that in the postseason. But, New England's defense is no joke. So, he's going to have to be smart with it. I actually don't expect Walker to have a huge day. I think he's going to be about 60, 65 yards, but there will be very important runs, and it'll open up an element of this game that I think will probably throw people off a little bit, but is AJ Barner probably going to have really important catches in this game, because he'll be in, since they use their tight end as a true tight end where he's lined up tight to the line, where he'll be in these stunt blocks where he gets to leak out into a middle zone. And I could see them picking up crucial first downs with AJ Barner out there. I expect New England to bracket cover JSN. So it's really going to come down to, can Kupp, Shaheed, and Jake Bobo kind of take over this game across the middle? Because that's where you're going to get some of your best plays out of the Seahawk offense.
Mm-hmm. Big C.
I think if I'm Seattle, I'm making Drake May beat me, and the same thing for New England. I would make Sam Darnold. I'm putting pressure on them quarterbacks to beat you. Both teams can run the ball very well. I'm making Drake May beat me with his arm. When against the Broncos, he did damage with his legs. Don't let him get outside the pocket. Don't let him get easy first downs. And Sam Darnold, if you put pressure on him, Sam Darnold's seen ghosts before, and he's played fantastic this year, and that was a long time ago. But that Sam Darnold's still in there somewhere, and I'm trying to bring that out of him if I'm the New England Patriots. And Mike Vrabel definitely knows how to come up with a defensive game plan to do that. Seattle, I would try to jump on a lead early, get that young quarterback stressing, getting in his nerves, getting in his head, making him feel like he needs to make a play, and hopefully they can force a mistake and a turnover. So New England hasn't been very good against the upper echelon teams this year. They had a very easy schedule, even into the playoffs. They went, CJ Stroud basically handed them the game in the second round. And then the Broncos, they went up against the backup quarterback. I truly believe Bo Nix played in that game. This would be a Broncos Seattle Super Bowl. So I like Seattle in this one. Again, it's going to come down to these two quarterbacks. I don't think either team's going to run for too many yards. These coaches are smart enough to know how to limit what these other teams do good. It's going to come down to what quarterback makes a mistake and which one doesn't.
Mm-hmm. All right, Nikki, what about the Pacers? What do they got to do to win?
Basically, it's mostly going to come down to defense in this one. Like Big C said, if you can put the pressure on Darnold, get in his head and force him to avert back to Jets form, then from there, you got a pretty good shot. I mean, you take some of the pressure off Drake May, which helps on the offensive side. So it's really going to come down to defense and stopping the Seahawks to set the tone, tying into what I said the key for the Seahawks is, which is to score and set the momentum. On the flip side, Patriots stop them. That takes some of the pressure off the offense, and you can use that momentum going forward.
Mm-hmm. James?
So for me, for the Patriots, you need to have excellent performances out of Christian Gonzalez, and out of Carlton Davis. They need to lock down their wide receivers one-on-one to allow you to kind of limit the Seattle offense in other areas. And if I were New England, I would be attacking that right guard, Anthony Bradford, all day long. If there's a weak spot on this team, that's it right there. Go after the right guard, blitz that gap all day long, and stress him out. There's been some real lights to him this year that if you can look at it from an entertainment perspective have been very funny. But if you're Sam Darnold, it's not so funny. So that would be my strategy, is try to stress that man out, because he's probably made the most mistakes of anybody on that team this year. But Gonzalez and Carlton Davis have to play out of their mind good, I think, for New England to win today.
Yeah. And Nick, halftime is probably yelling about how Bill Belichick should not be in the Hall of Fame. That is where he is probably.
Right, just ranting nonstop.
So, Bo, what do the Patriots got to do to win?
Yeah, I mean, so to your point, Bradford is a problem. But if you look back at the NFC Championship game, they didn't play him.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Smart
So
move.
he was a little bit banged up. They went a different direction, and then all of a sudden the offensive line performed way better. I expect Bradford to have a very limited role in this offensive line for that exact reason. But, probably a key element for this is going to be, to Big C's point, they can't fall behind early. If they fall behind early and you have Drake May trying to press, he will make mistakes. We watched that through the playoffs. This is a defense you can't make a lot of mistakes against. So he's going to have to protect the ball well. A key element for him is also going to be RPO. His ability to use his legs to pick up first downs and stuff is going to be key in this. But there are some weaknesses to this Seattle defense, and that is kind of seam routes, in-cutting routes. Anytime they are one-on-one with an outside linebacker, like a Derek Hall, just not great in coverage. And so there are ways to exploit that. If you can get some of those plays going, it'll help open their running game up. So there is a path forward for them to win this game, but they're going to have to be, like everybody said, they're going to have to be lights out, especially on defense against the receiving core of Seattle.
Mm-hmm. Big C, is there anything else you got to say, or did you already kind of covered it earlier? But if you want to add any more, go for it.
Yeah, man. Like I said, I pretty much covered it. It's going to come down to which one of these quarterbacks, makes the big mistake. I think both of them are going to probably throw an interception. There was a question in there. Do I see both? I think both probably do throw an interception. Exactly. It's the player that throws the second interception, that crucial interception in the second half. Again, whatever defense can put the pressure on the opposing team's offense and get their offense a lead. I think a lead is huge to play with in this game. Sam Darnold, he's shown in the past that he's had issues when it came to pressure. You know what I mean? As far as game pressure, the seeing the ghosts and this and that. And Drake May's just a young quarterback. You know what I mean? This is overwhelming. This is the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? This is only his second season. They haven't been good against teams over 500 this year. They've beaten a lot of mediocre teams. And the Seattle team's not mediocre by any stretch of the imagination. And if the moment becomes too big and Seattle somehow gets up 14-0, he's going to be stressed to make a play. And New England doesn't have the greatest receiving talent. You know what I mean? They got Stephon Diggs, but he's past his prime. Hunter Henry's a nice tight end, but they don't got the greatest of skill players. They got some decent running backs, but as far as they don't have the players to come from behind. So if you get that lead, I feel like Drake May will be pushing it, and he'll eventually make a mistake. He'll force something, and that will cost them the game.
Yeah. So shout out to my guy Eric the Joker here. He's actually part of the network. He has his own wrestling show, which is next, Joker's Asylum. But he's actually a Buffalo Bills fan. So
that makes sense.
I don't know how he feels about the Super Bowl either. So yeah, Big C, maybe we'll get him and you do a show or something about your division. We'll talk. See if that could happen. But yeah, so let's go to quick, easy NFL trivia, because this is actually, I thought these were hilarious. Which Super Bowl were delayed due to power outage?
San Francisco is where it
The
was.
Ravens.
It was the Ravens and Niners, yeah.
Super Bowl 47.
It was the
Harbaugh
Harbaugh
versus Harbaugh.
Yep. I want to see that again. That is why I wanted Harbaugh to go to the Raiders, so that way we would get that twice a year. But yeah, he went to
Now it can be in the Super Bowl again. The Giants versus the Chargers.
Yeah, exactly.
Please, I don't want the Giants there. I don't want the Giants there. Give them a couple more years.
Yeah, I don't think
But-
you're gonna.
Huh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
worry about that real soon.
Yeah. Which team completed the only undefeated season that capped with the Super Bowl?
I mean, Big C has to answer that.
Yeah,
Come on, baby. You know what it is. You know what it is. The only team, baby.
Yep.
72 fins.
That's why I had to bring it up. And then, which team beat the Pacers to end their perfect season?
The
The
Giants.
Giants, Super Bowl
So
42.
there you go. See, quick and easy. So let's get into the predictions and then the scores. So if you guys want to put a score prediction, I'm going to put them down here and see whoever gets the closest. So for me, I got Seattle winning. I got Seattle 24-21. I think it's going to be very, very close coming down to the wire, and hopefully they don't, All right. We're going to start off with Big C and go around.
I got Seattle 27-23. Nick Emery, Super Bowl MVP with 2 picks.
Oh, let's go. Let's go. I like that one.
All right, I'll put my MVP there too. For me, it was Sam Darnold. I feel like coming off of the best game of his career in a championship game, he just carries over. So who's yours again, Big C? I'm gonna write those down as well.
Nick Emery. He's going to
How
have
do you
2
spell?
picks.
How do you spell his name?
I don't
Good
know.
luck.
E-M.
ANWORI.
Got it. All right, Bo, you're up.
Yeah, so I'm going to go with Darnold just because that'd be a good story for the MVP. And
Yeah.
then I have Seattle 27-24. So I think it's going to be a
Okay.
beautiful kind of game, which means they don't cover, right? That means Patriots cover and they hit the over.
Got it. James.
I'm taking Seattle as well. I'm going 31-20. And I'm sticking with Kenneth Walker for my MVP. I think he gets in the end zone twice this year.
Nicky, you gotta take the Patriots, or we're jinxing shit.
I know.
I'm sorry, but I'm going to go with the Seahawks by a score of 27-13.
Bo.
I feel like the second half when they start to take the game more in their favor.
Yeah. What was your
First
score
half's a
again?
little
I'm
more
sorry.
close, but then second half they kind of take it away.
Nikki, what was your score again?
27-13. I feel like the second half is when Seattle starts to really take over. First half's going to be a little more competitive.
Yeah.
I,
And then
I
who?
hope, I hope you two are right because especially if they can get that lead early so that I can have like less stress and just like enjoy some wings and beer.
Nikki, who's your MVP? Who you got?
MVP in this one, I'm trying to think. I'm probably going to say it's probably going to come on the defensive side of the ball.
Okay.
Trying to think of a guy right there.
A lot of guys over there. There's 11.
Yeah, exactly. And I could see maybe a guy like Leonard Williams playing a key role. Maybe stop the
Okay.
run, get some pass rush, maybe even a sack or a forced fumble.
Got it.
It'd be a fun story there is if D Law were to get it after saying, "Hey, I can't win a ring in Dallas." He calls his own shot, goes to Seattle, gets to the Super Bowl, wins the MVP. That'd be wild.
I forgot about that. Jeez.
Right.
Oh my God. But yeah, guys, that's going to conclude the NFL Sunday morning show here. I'm going to go through the predictions one last time. For me, I got Seattle 24-21 with Sam Darnold taking MVP. Big C's got Seattle 27-23 with Eamon Nora taking it. And Bo's got Seattle 27-24 with Sam Darnold getting MVP. James got Seattle 31-20 with Kenneth Walker taking MVP. And Nikki got Seattle 27-13 with Leonard Williams taking MVP. That will, if that happens, I'm like, Nikki, you got to hit the lottery if that happens.
I mean, it's not outside the realm of possibilities. I mean,
It's not. It's
Seattle
not.
won
That's the
before
point.
with
Yeah.
Malcolm Smith, right? So, I mean, that was kind of a random one. I thought Cam Chancellor was going to win it that year.
Yeah. And yeah, Alexander actually has JSN winning MVP.
Okay.
I've been seeing that a lot.
That could happen.
Yeah, he's got the skill.
He does.
Who-
It would have to be a lot of yards after catch, though, because the problem
Right.
with
I mean, if
receivers
you
winning
make the
it,
right
the quarterback-
catches, it could happen. Lynn
Well,
Swan only caught 4 passes, but won a Super Bowl MVP because of the magnitude of his catches.
No, it's definitely possible. It's just harder for receivers to do it because the yardage they get, the quarterback also gets.
Yeah, you need the quarterback to have a couple mistakes for the wide receiver to get the MVP.
Exactly.
All right. So with that being said, Nikki, what you got coming up, man?
We got episode 46 of the 3-Point Blitz after taking a week off. So we'll have a lot to talk about: head coaches, NBA trade deadline, the Super Bowl. And then at night, me and Agent Warrior X, we're in the same time slot we did the NFL Pick'ems, but we're doing a new show, Everything on the Table, where we're going to expand the subjects past football. So stay tuned for that. That one's at
right.
8 p.m. on Tuesday as well.
All right, James.
Off season is in full swing for us. So the NFL
Right.
Scout Combine's coming up soon here. We're kicking into mock draft season too, so we're going to start doing a lot of mock drafts on the show every Saturday morning. A new episode with stuff in between if something pops up.
All right, Bo.
Yeah. Quick shout out to ESPN Radio in Jacksonville and Fox Sports in Reno for having me on the last 2 days. That was awesome. And then back to just normal shows this next week. So just the normal daily show and stuff. My schedule gets to calm down. I might actually get some sleep. It's gonna be amazing.
And Big Steve, what about you, man?
Oh, just in constant misery, trying to figure out what my Miami Dolphins are doing. I got years to figure it out, obviously. Probably a whole nother coaching staff to go through, but just living, I guess. I'm dull to the pain at this point.
Yeah. All right. So for me, I'm going to be streaming Michigan versus Ohio State at 1, the college basketball. So whoever likes college basketball, make sure you tune in. And guys, we got a wrestling show on right now. The Wrestling Asylum with my guy Eric. So if you guys like wrestling, go check it out. He is live right now. And with that being said, like, share, subscribe. Everyone have a fun Super Bowl Sunday. And yeah, let's go. See you out later. Peace,
Good luck,
guys.
bud.